welcome back to Trade Towards the Money Talks episode 2. So in today's video, we're going to be interviewing another one of my mentees. His name is Mohammed. He's done absolutely amazing in his trading. Mohammed was able to take his account from 20,000 at the beginning of 2024 and flip it to 75k. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Mohammed. How you doing, Mohammed?
Hi, Harrison. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Good to have you on this call today, man. I thought, let's just get you on this call. You have some amazing news, something that everyone can learn from. You have a massive story as well. So I thought, you know what, this would be a good place for you to go ahead and share your story.
First of all, Harrison, it's a pleasure to be here. A big honor and lovely to speak to you and to the audience. As you see, I'm a bit shaking. So I got a disease, and which is a nervous disease, spondylocerebral ataxia type 2, which is more severe than Parkinson's. And doctors gave me like 10 years, and then I will say goodbye. So my time is taking off, like everybody's time on this earth. But I had to make my decision. Now, how do I want to spend the rest 10 years of my life on this planet? And I said to myself, I want to make sure I have quality time, which means I'm there for my kids, for my family, for my wife. And I make sure I have them financially safe once I leave from this planet. Because I studied economics, a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's degree in business administration, I know how the world of finance works. And I know that through hard work, you can't really make a good, decent living anymore. It used to be 30, 40 years ago. You could easily buy a house, get a mortgage. You could do twice a year, go to holidays, but these times are over.
You decided to get involved because you just didn't want to be part of the rat race. And it was similar to something like me. I didn't want to be part of the rat race either. I was doing accounting. I used to wake up in the morning, man, and I used to go on a train and just look around and thinking, what am I doing? Like, everyone's just rushing to their place of work and everyone's talking to each other. It's just very mundane. I had to think of another way to do something. And so this is why trading Forex and trading the various different financial assets that I got into. But that was part of the reason I did. But it's very relatable. You wanted to get out the rat race, and that's why you got in. The doctor said they gave you 10 years to live. Whenever somebody hears something like that, sometimes they might go into the shell and just say, oh, woe is me. All right, if it's my time, it's my time. But you said, you know what, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be there for my family. I definitely commend you for that. And I pray that you will live beyond these years that these doctors are giving you.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. And I know, look, the more you give and the more you do good to others, the more people will appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
The more they do good to you, you know.
How did you come across my channel? It always fascinates me how people come across my channel. I know YouTube likes to promote my stuff out there, and there would have been tons of Forex traders, tons of traders out there. How did you actually come across my channel?
I started trading 18 months ago, and I found your channel 12 months ago. In the first 6 months, I started trading Bitcoin, all these meme coins. I really crazy ways of trading, you know. I watched SMC courses, smart money concept, about break of structure, change of character, and all these things.
Okay.
And they all sounded too good to be true. They sounded too easy. And I noticed you get with them a success rate of 40 to 50% by month on the max. And my risk to reward was 1 to 3 if I was lucky. But on average, it was 1 to 1.5, which was not enough to be really profitable. So I was always at break even, okay? So I asked myself, for what am I doing that? I'm not really making money with it, but I could see sometimes I used to make really good money. So I had to ask myself why I am doing sometimes good money and sometimes it doesn't work. So there must be something to avoid it, to avoid the drawdown. And basically, I remember I saw one video of you about institutional candles.
Oh, that video. We all know about that video. That's been one of my most viral videos, literally.
I can see why it's so good and why it's gone viral, because it was so relatable to me, and I could understand what you were saying, and you was down to earth, and you didn't give promises. You was just very analytical. You said it. You had a very clear language in explaining these things, and then basically I started to use these institutional candles and traded them with the SMC concept. And only by that, I saw that I became immediately more profitable, immediately more money. I could see already an improvement. Only by following this video, I could already see an improvement. That's where I said to myself, look, listen, you need to watch this guy more often. He knows what he's talking about. And the way how you see markets and market structure is very different from how everybody else sees it. Everyone has these continuation patterns, correction patterns, break of structure, change of character, and it's very simple basically. But the way how you see it is more advanced, more soft, more sophisticated, and which I learned through your mentorship. And there I only learned what it means to be able to read candles. I could see what they mean, and which I couldn't see before, basically. And that changed my whole trading. Yeah, and I became more comfortable because I, at the end, knew exactly what I wanted to see in the market. I let the market tell me what it wants to do.
100%.
No, I started predicting the market. Okay, there's a line and there's this line and whatever. If you cross this line, the girl goes there.
No, let it tell us. Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. And sometimes it's one or two concepts that really opens up your eyes, and it really elevates your trading. That's what the mentorship's about. Sometimes it's really repetitive. I said this in the last TTTM talk, episode 1. I said it's very repetitive, but I'm not changing a thing. Why? Because it needs to be the same. I need to be saying the same stuff over and over and over again until it gets into your head.
You know what? I noticed the smarter I trade and the less I trade, the more I make money. So I used to be in a stage where I used to do maybe every day a trade or 2 trades. And I gave this up, basically. I completely gave this up. I just watched the team calls and our mentorship. I mark out the areas. I mark out what I want to see. If I see it, I go then to lower time frames, look for a trade which I could execute, and then I let it run.
You find that the less you trade, the more money you make. That's exactly the same as me, because what I used to do back in the day, I used to be in so many trades. I used to try and trade EU, GU, gold. I used to try and trade USD Swiss, USD JPY, Euro NZD, NZD USD. I used to try and trade every single pair at the same time. And I used to be in those same trades about 10 to 15 times each. And what would happen is, yes, I'll be able to flip accounts, but at the same time, I'll be able to lose those same accounts. But now I've realized that having to go through ups and downs, the less I trade, the more money you make. You take partials, you let the rest ride, you get that extra piece of the pie, and then you're out the markets. Yeah, I totally agree on that.
100%, Harrison. And that's what I really said to myself, I need to trade less. I just wait for the market to be in these high probability areas. And if I can see there a reaction which I like, then I take the trade. And then I look where could be the target for this trade. And then basically I ask myself, what are the reasons for taking the trade? What are the reasons not to take the trade? Because your own bias manipulates you sometimes. And you really want to take a trade because you saw one thing, but you forgot 10 other signs why not to take the trade. And then you start manipulating yourself. So you have to be objective, because not everything works every time. And the problem is with most mentors, they try to tell you one thing, one size fits all solution,
and that's not true.
There is nothing like that. Okay, you have to understand what works in what scenarios. That's the first thing. If my trade goes well, I try to maximize my trade, because you can only be profitable, that's my belief, if you maximize your wins and reduce your losses.
100%, definitely. Once you see it going in your favor, that's when you start adding positions at the right places. Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to ask yourself, when do you add positions and when do you take partials?
Mohammed, did you take my scalping course?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, because I'm hearing some languages. I'm hearing some things that I spoke about in the course. Yeah.
And I said, how can I utilize the scalping course into my TTM program? How can I utilize it for there?
You've done the New Way of Scalping course and you've done the Trade Towards the Money program and you combine
I did
both.
all of it. I did all of it.
Yeah, yeah, because I can hear everything intertwined. I can hear everything. You're combining everything, and that's probably how you're smashing it. You know, turning 20K accounts to 75K. Honestly, man. When you was losing, I used to add positions to my losers, and I'll keep on adding more, and I will just believe it will go up, and I will end up blowing accounts that way. And so what I decided to do is I said, you know what, I'm switching things up. If I've lost, I've lost. But if I win in a trade, if I see every single sign is telling me that price is bullish, no bullish thing isn't holding, I'm going to keep on adding positions. So yeah, maximize those winners, leave them losers alone.
The maximum I had was 7 trades drawdown. So I never had more than 7 trades in drawdowns. So
your biggest losing streak was 7 consecutive losses. That's a lot better than most. A lot better than most people, honestly. But what would you say was your biggest challenge in the mentorship?
I would say my biggest challenge was unlearning the things I learned. All the BS I heard from others about supply, demand, support, resistance, break of structure, change of character, then it must do this, then it must do that. If this trend line is gone, then it must do this. I had to unlearn all these things basically. And because I noticed when I started with the mentorship, that was still in my head. And I couldn't really understand your language. Of course, it was clearer and it took me a while to get into it.
It takes some
But
time.
once I got into it and I started to unlearn all the things I had before, then it fully made sense to me. But it took me like, let's say 4 months, 5 months to really unlearn these things I learned before.
Yeah, and when you say unlearn, it's like you're no longer trading the retail concept way, you're now trading SMC institutional way.
But you know what the funny thing is?
What's that?
People tell you this is SMC trading. Support, resistance, supply, demand, market structure. They give you, they label that as SMC, which is not really smart money, which is not really a smart money concept. It's not institutional, but they label it. But only through you, I really understood what is institutional trading, what is real price action, and what is real smart money.
And you also said that you had to unlearn it. And like for me, I also had to unlearn it, but my own learning process for that was that I still remember a lot of it. I don't trade it, but then now I utilize those retail concepts and I use them in a way for liquidity. I believe that's what you mean, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I use the old concepts to see what would everybody do, basically what I shouldn't do. Okay.
Yeah.
That is really doing the opposite what the market tells you to do, what these old strategies tell you to do, basically.
I know exactly what you mean. We're not going against people. We're not trying to just take stop losses. We're just trading towards the money because you win more when you trade towards the money. One of the main questions that I wanted to ask you about, you flipped an account. When I say flipped, it wasn't a flip. Let's leave the flip because flips, people go wild and go crazy, start losing control. You was fully in control. I've seen what you've done. It's been absolutely amazing. And so let's go ahead and talk about how you was able to take your account from 20K all the way to 75K.
So first of all, Harrison, I took all my life savings. I put it in my trading, all or nothing.
All or nothing. Oh, okay. I wouldn't say that, but let's see your story. Let's go.
I said to myself, all or nothing, basically. But I said to myself, look, that's all the money you got, so you need to be responsible. Because the moment I said to myself, I'm transferring this money to the broker, I said to myself, look, you took a big risk, okay? And like I said, you do it for your family, to make them financially safe. So you need to be responsible. And once I put myself in this situation, I had no option than just to say to myself, look, you need to do it the right way. Also, what I did, is I watch the team calls carefully. I watch them sometimes twice, 3 times over the weekend.
3
I
times.
marked up all my charts and I said to myself, I want to see this. I want to see that. And I got only involved once I see this. But I wanted to take a trade in the point of interest in the high probability areas. Then I wanted to see a good reaction. And then I took a trade.
I like that because I always say this in a mentorship as well. I always say I don't trade how I feel, I trade what I see. So if I see price doing this, then it gives me confidence to build up a bias for what I want it to do next. And yeah, I like how you was patient enough to see it play out first, or to see certain movements play out first, or certain candles print first, and then you got active.
Yeah.
You said you took it from 20K to 75K in 6 months. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Actually, in 5 months.
On 5 months.
And I'm very honest, last month was not that good.
Okay. You have good days or good months even and bad months. So yeah, speak us through what happened.
If you listen to what I'm saying, I sound maybe very smart. I sound like I know the market. I sound like I'm geezer, and I know everything. But I tell you something. I am the most stupid trader in our group. That's how I feel sometimes.
Why would you say that?
That's how I feel sometimes, honestly.
Go for it.
Because
Elaborate.
Look, I became so overconfident. I thought I can tell the market what it must do. Then
you done did it.
What did I do? Because I was overconfident, because I thought I can tell the market what to do. I deleted my stop loss. I deleted my stop once when. Then I added my position.
My days.
I just said to myself, I can tell the market, I thought I'm the king.
That's what overconfidence does to you. When I speak to mentees, when I speak to just traders in general, overconfidence can destroy. It doesn't matter who you are and what skills you have. When you become overconfident in the market, it has a way of dealing with you and humbling you. And wait, you said you deleted your stop loss. That's one of the biggest no-nos. Yeah, but sometimes your feelings can take over, and that's one of the things that can happen. Once you saw your account growing, how was your mindset? Like, was you just like super excited? Was you taken back? Like, what was going through your mind?
It was 2 kind of emotions I had. In the beginning, I said, wow, your system's working, nice. Keep doing what you're doing, be disciplined. And then you could see, once you followed your system, your approach, you became better and better. And then what creeped in is that overconfidence. And what happened to me is arrogance creeped in. And I said to myself, oh, I'm the best, I can do whatever. And the market told me, who is the boss?
We'll find a way to humble you if you are overconfident. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to want to know, what was your technique? So if you can just elaborate on that a little bit.
My technique is based on 2 things. High probability and high risk to reward. Because if you, in average, win 4 times more than your risk, you need only 20% to be right, to be break even. And if you then manage to be 50% right, which I can do, okay, then you make good money. Then you don't even have to be 70% right or 100% right. You can take 50% losses and you're comfortable with taking 50% losses. So my trading style is based on where are high probability areas which could give me high risk to reward. And I take all these trades. Simple. It sounds so simple, but in a nutshell, that's all what I do. And that's what you taught us, by the way.
Yeah, so you've managed to work out the certain high probability POIs that work for you too, and you understood that I have to be going for high return trades. With those high return trades, you don't have to win as much.
Let compounding work for you. That's what all those smart people do. That's what all those smart people do. They let compounding work for them, and they give themselves time.
Let compounding work for you. That's a big tip there. And I know one part that really helped you as well, that you've shared with me as well, is that you only trade one pair.
For me, I traded only US dollar for a year. The last 2 months, I switched to other things, in the last month especially, because the FX pairs were quite messy. Okay, so I switched to commodities gold because I saw they're doing really good and they give you good signals. But why did I follow Euro USD for 1 year? First of all, it was inversely correlated to the DXY. So it was quite easy. And it gave me good signals, or that it kept giving me good signals, 1 or 2 signals per week. And if you do 1 to 2 signals per week, which are good, where you make good money, you made enough to achieve a 7% average. That's why I stick onto Euro USD. I said to myself, why should I follow 10 trades, 10 charts? Why should I stress myself? I'd rather have time for my kids, for my wife. I'm rather with them. I'd rather go out with my friends. I watch one thing, do one thing right. That's it.
Because I know for me, I used to trade all these different type of pairs, and I had no time to do other things because I had to be checking all these pairs. But like you said, why would I trade all these other pairs when I can trade one pair that correlates perfectly with the DXY or 99% with the DXY, and then spend the rest of my time with my family, my kids? My final question to you then is, what message would you give to other traders out there right now?
Don't give up. Secondly, know why you're doing what you're doing. Giving yourself time. Don't over risk. When you get more confident, then start increasing your risk, but give yourself the time. No one is born as a trader. Sometimes you make mistakes, but that's okay. You stand up, you don't give up, and you continue.
One thing that you said that just really stuck out to me is you said that nobody's born a trader. So give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to learn to trade for real. You know, not the mumbo jumbo out there, but give yourself some time to trade. I love that advice. It's been a pleasure having you on this call. I'm pretty sure you have even more to say. So we're definitely going to bring you back on, share some more insight, tell us more about your progress in the next couple of months.
Harrison, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the video. And I hope so many more people will join our mentorship.
By the way, I didn't tell her to say that. Like I said, this is just, you know, we catching up with the mentees, catching up, talking, trading and journey. But, you know, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.